Good afternoon, Quad Cities. It is July 14th, 2021, Bastille Day.
What was that?
Bastille Day in France.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I know that.
I don't know why you know that either.
I don't even know. Adrian's in studio with me. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, Quad City's only local sports talk radio show. And yeah, we big night last night. You guys, you brought home some hardware, huh?
We had already taken down the league, and then we decided we'd win the tournament as well. We got a little plaque, got a couple pictures taken, and drank a few Busch Lights.
There you go.
Great night.
So did you get to watch any of the All-Star game?
You know, every year this tournament of our end of our league really falls on the All-Star game. No matter how many rainouts, no matter makeup games or forfeits or what happens, every year it lands on the All-Star game. And again, it landed on the All-Star game. We watched some of it on my buddy's phone, but you know, we're all sitting around chit-chatting. But
I mean, it wasn't too much, to be honest with you. It was fine. Obviously, all eyes on Ohtani.
Mm-hmm. Did he get a hit?
No, he grounded out both times.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, he was the winning pitcher, though.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
He got the W.
Oh, that's great.
So I think he just went 2 innings or whatever else. If he even went that, I don't know. He did get the W, though. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was the MVP.
Yep, I did hear that.
Yeah. And he's now the second youngest player to homer in an All-Star game. It goes Johnny Bench, who's 21, then Vladimir Guerrero. And
pretty good company.
Yeah. Joe Medwick, Hank Blaylock, Ken Griffey Jr., Ted Williams, Alex Rodriguez are the other guys in the top that are ahead of him. So, yeah, he won MVP. Good for him. I mean, basically, he's the one that he blasted that ball too, though. I mean, what was it? It was
468.
There you go. Yep, it was 468, and he becomes the now the Guerreros are the third father-son combo to homer in an All-Star game. Obviously, you got the Griffies,
yeah,
and you got the Bonzes.
Okay.
Bobby did it in 1973. Barry did it in 98 and 2002. Ken Griffey Jr. did it in 1992. Ken Griffey Sr. did it in 1980. Vladimir Sr. did 2006. And Vlad Jr. obviously last night.
We were talking about Vlad Sr. last night while we were playing. We didn't realize that he could hit, really. Like, we just thought he was a guy swinging and everything. And, you know, maybe we weren't looking at the stats when we were that age, but you know, he wins MVP 2 run years. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, so, no, I'm sorry. Ohtani only threw 1 inning. But boy, he was bringing it.
Was he?
Yeah, he went, I think his last pitch, he went from his last 2 pitches, he went from like 100 miles an hour dropped it down to 90.
Just showing off for fun.
Yeah, I mean, why if he's not going to throw the next inning, don't you think he would just bring gas? But I mean, still, it doesn't matter. I mean, you look at it one thing and you're like, oh my goodness, 90 miles an hour. I mean, I don't want to see that. But can you imagine one pitch is at 100 and then 10 miles is off and it's still, I mean, it's throwing you off. Mm-hmm. And these guys are still hitting it though. Yeah, but he was 0 for 2 at the plate. So now the American League has won the last 8 All-Star games, tying the second longest win streak in history. National League won 8 from 1963 to 1970. The longest streak, though, is 11 games by the National League from 72 to 82. So
that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive streak.
Yeah. Let's see. I took the under. The under hit. The over/under was at 11. Why would the total be that high?
I think they think that people are going to groove each other's pitches on the games that don't matter, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that. But when you're bringing in so many different pitchers.
Yeah. And, I mean, they are going on a pitch. Some of these guys use this as their throwing day a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then the guy who threw for the National League, I think Corbin or something like that. I don't know. I was just frustrated as in because I actually thought the National League was going to win. But they let him throw like 2 innings. And Guerrero, went.
Corbin Burns.
There you go. Corbin Burns. Yep. So
he got roughed up. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
He is talented.
Yeah, it started. Like, not only did Vlad Guerrero hit that bomb off of him, then he had a situation. Aaron Judge was on third. I can't remember who hit the ball hardly down the first baseline. The runners were at first and third, Arenado came up, barehanded it. The guy beat out the throw. It was such a dribbler that Judge could do nothing but score off of that. So then they moved him first and second. But, yeah, he got roughed up a little bit. So, but, all-star game, all fun. There's, now we have a day off. This is the loneliest day in sports.
It is. Wednesday. Well, you got game 4.
Game 4 you do
tonight.
Have game 4.
Yeah.
Isn't that how? Now listen, look at them.
It's all them. That's it. It's got to be.
Because usually the Wednesday after is the dead one, but look at them.
Yep.
They came. Look, the NBA came through.
Maybe that's why they were putting it over.
Maybe
all eyes on us.
Because it used to be that the ESPYs were on this day, and they did the ESPYs over the weekend. But yeah, that's tonight's game. That'll be on ABC. It's an 8:00 tip-off. Suns at Milwaukee. Suns lead the series 2-1.
Do you think they tie it back up tonight? The way they looked the other night, who is Chris Middleton? It'd be a lot of fun if he just played the same way every game.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this. If you do that, this is just so in this series, in this finals, the home team has won each of the first 3 games,
which is usually how it goes.
Yeah, but if we go back to the second, when this was most likely this happened before, this was the 2016 Warriors-Cavs series. So we're going to throw out last year because that was in a bubble.
Yeah.
The home team, right? And so this happened in 2016 where Golden State was leading 2-1 and then 3-1, but before Cleveland went on to complete a comeback for finals. So that was the current, but this format now is a 2-2-1-1-1. So what they're doing here, Game 4 Milwaukee, then it'll go back to Phoenix, then Milwaukee, then back to Phoenix, right?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah. So the Warriors they ended up losing that 2016, but that was that comeback by LeBron that was insane. And the only other time before that where the home team didn't do that, they lost after going up 2-0 was 2006 Dallas Mavericks. They lost in 6 games to the Miami Heat. Well, we'll see. I mean, the Greek Freaks had done great things for them. 40 back-to-back 40 points, double-doubles, and that's the first time. I mean, it joins Shaquille O'Neal and LeBron is the only time to go to score 40 points and do double-double in back-to-back games in the NBA Finals. So, yeah, last night was a lot of fun. We're gonna have phone calls today. We're gonna talk to Emily Van Buskirk at 12:30. We're gonna call Mike from Hidden Hills at 1. We gotta do our DFS. There's some things going on. Major League Baseball, they slipped this in. I don't know if it's a big deal, but we'll talk about it real quick. The commissioner said that he thinks that now that the COVID is supposedly out of the way, that the rule changes that they've had, they're gonna go back to normal, meaning they're not gonna have double headers that are 7-inning games.
Yeah, I heard that, and they're also not gonna put the runner on second base in extra innings.
In extra innings, yeah.
What I've also heard is that no DH still.
All right, well, we'll get to that. He also is flirting with the switch.
I heard that he wasn't going to switch it.
Well, that the shift. Sorry, not switch. The shift. So he's saying that he's looking at the shift and saying that infielders you have to have 2 on either side of second base.
Really?
Yeah, because they're doing that a little bit right now in one of the minor leagues where they have to have their feet on the dirt or something like that. All infielders. So they don't have to be 2 on each side of the second, but they have to have their feet on dirt. So
starting?
They can't. Yeah. So I don't know. There's some people out there that just absolutely hate the shift. I don't really care, to be honest with you. We were talking about it last night, and I basically was under the same impression that you're a Major League Baseball hitter. If you don't like it, hit the ball opposite way.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know. We've talked about this. I think last week we talked about when you do batting practice, they actually hit opposite side, then they go up the middle, then they pull it, and then so they go 4 times through. Oppo, down the middle, pull it, and then the 4th time through their batting, their hitting cage, then they just jack the ball.
Yeah.
So they just unleash. And
yeah.
And so, and this is when we were talking about the home run derby, how it's a little bit different. So, in my opinion, be able to hit opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's tough to do, an inside-out swing, especially if they're setting you up inside. But, I don't get the bunt back.
But also too, nobody's making money for hitting oppo anymore.
That's true.
You're making money for hitting 40 home runs a year.
Yes.
And driving in 120.
Well, that's
runs,
the other thing.
And then striking out every other time, and grounding out every other time.
So, and I'm not going to get into, and we'll talk about the rule changes. But you look at things and they're like, oh, am I turning into that old man yelling at clouds thing? But yeah, Fernando Tatis, and you see the stat, and he's got like 20 stolen bases. He's like leads major leagues, and I'm like, what? 20 stolen bases leads major league at the All-Star break? Like, where's the days when Ricky Henderson and Vince Coleman are stealing 100 bases a year?
Nobody wants to get thrown out because everybody's trying to hit a home run anyway.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. The small ball type of thing is gone to the wayside, which is crazy to me. Anymore. Absolutely crazy to me. But yeah, and so I don't care about shift. The 7-inning doubleheaders, I would make rule changes anyway. Like, I would have, like, every Sunday be a doubleheader. But they're going to lose money off of that. Yeah. The runner on second base, I don't like. That is it's called international tiebreaker rule for fast pitch softball, and that's where that started. The reason why I don't like it is because I would hate to see like Hank Greenberg's RBI record, which is a hard one to break. I think it's 156 RBIs in the season. That's because you have to rely on your teammates getting on base. If like 157 RBIs happened in a year, one of them happened because the runner just gets put on second. Yep. That's the thing. That's the only reason why I ever cared about it. Other than that, like, you want to get the game over, you want to do whatever else. You don't want to, hurt your pitchers. You don't want, that's fine. But I always just wondered about how you get the run batted in from that. How's that score on your stats?
It's got to still be an RBI, right?
Yeah.
That's it. It's just an RBI.
But yeah, but then you have the situation where they're going to be like, it's an asterisk.
Yeah,
it shouldn't count. Like that record still stands. We've done this plenty of times, and I'll always do in like my first round pick. Like if you're a sports czar, what would you change right away? And I'm tired of not universal DH. I just have it.
It makes no sense.
It really doesn't.
You got these guys out here bunting for fun. Like,
rarely do you even see that, though. No. I mean, that's great that pitcher had his first career hit, was a grand slam. He's the second ever in Major League Baseball history. The other day, that's a great story or whatever else. Okay.
That's it.
It's not like that's not making your case.
That's the best story of the year. The only story of the year.
Yeah, but that's your argument. No. Well, then this guy would never have his name in the history books as his first career hit in the Major League was a grand slam.
Yeah, he doesn't really want it to be.
No, if pitchers don't hit in the minors, there's no reason to have them hit when they become in the majors, in the National League.
I didn't realize how many kids weren't hitting in high school anymore. Like top players that are going to pitch in big schools, they're not hitting in high school. They're just throwing, not doing any hitting.
Well,
they're stopping them real early.
There was that situation like 3 years ago. The kid from LSU,
yeah,
and then he's like, he never hit.
Yeah.
He never hit.
The guy never hit.
Yeah, he lied to his coach. He's like, yeah, I hit, and they're like, all right. So, no. So you were gone yesterday, Adrian. What did you think of the home run derby?
The home run derby, it was fun. Alonso really steals the show. Mancini, I thought he was stealing the show for a little bit. He had a great run there in that first.
Good job on your Soto call.
Yeah, well, I guess that we got through that round.
Yep.
Not all the way through. His swing is just so vicious that it's hard to keep that repetition up.
Yeah,
it doesn't help that your batting practice coach is throwing it behind you once.
Yeah.
What else? There was one more thing. I felt like Salvador Perez. I feel bad for that guy. Second highest home runs hit in the first round. He loses to Pete Alonso.
Yeah,
should have been the finals.
Well, but I don't want to go back to the thing where you just have 8 guys hit and the top 4 advance.
Yeah,
and then I like the seeding.
I like them going against each other.
And it was a 4 versus a 5. A lot of people don't believe that. If you really look at it, people would have been like, Alonso was a repeat champion. Well, he's a defending champion. They didn't have it last year, so he probably should have been higher, maybe even a 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that can be the argument there, but that was a 5 over a 4.
Was there any way they said about why they seeded him that way? Was it the amount of home runs they had?
It had to be amount of home runs. That's where they were at. Now, the Mancini thing was great, and I said this yesterday. I only went like an hour Broadway yesterday, but the only thing I took away from it, now Alonso, don't get me wrong, the dude was dancing. It looked like he was making his own like rap album in his head. I really appreciated the way he was in the zone. The Mancini thing we talked about, the story is just that good. I would have just adored and loved the fact if at 21 home runs, Alonso just drops the bat and is like, it's yours, Mancini. You won it.
Yeah.
Now, Mancini may have said, like, no. You keep hitting time. I'm calling time. Stop the timer. I want him to keep hitting type of thing. It just would have been that cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
Just to be, it would have been a different moment that we wouldn't. And I think we need more. And not, I'm not taking anything away from Alonso for not doing that. But it's just, those are the type of things that we need in this world more to have a story about something like that.
Would have been a great story.
Yeah. And it don't get
goosebumps with you saying it right now.
So that was the only, like, I'm texting my buddies. I'm like, Alonso, drop the bat. And they're like, my buddy's like, what? And then they're like, that was a great home run derby. And I just wrote back. I was like, it was okay. And then I had to take it. I looked at it yesterday and I was like, it was a really good home run derby. I loved everything about it. And the All-Star game was fun last night. I loved, and I did put this on Facebook, I loved, like, when you're sitting there watching the All-Star game and you're looking a little bit closer and you see Scherzer on there and you're like, what is going on? So it's back. 8 stars. They put a star for every All-Star appearance you had on there.
I did not see that on the jerseys.
Yeah. Because I'm watching Scherzer and then I was like, wait a minute. And then I forget who was up to bat. And I'm like, well, this guy's got to have like 3 appearances or whatever else, right? I'm looking for 3 stars, and it was just 1. And there were 40 first-time All-Stars yesterday.
Really?
And so there were 40 jerseys with just 1 star. I love that they put that on there.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Like it's and I did like the uniforms too.
I love that they have uniforms for this. I don't like that they just all used to come out in their own jerseys.
Yeah.
I want a uniform. I want a new jersey to buy, purchase.
I liked, and I liked that they were all one color. I liked that the American League was all the navy blue. And National League was all white, but the pants matched. It wasn't like,
remember that one year where they did the vests, where they had the Ken Griffey Jr. vest.
Yeah,
I always thought those were pretty sharp.
Not a vest guy.
I know, but you wear the undershirt underneath. It looks good.
I know, but the uniform, I liked them. Now some of them, like, because they would put like so like Cleveland would be like the CLE and I think NYY for the New York Yankees, and the Brewers one looked sharp because they had the logo on there, the glove that actually smells out MB. That looked good. I didn't understand why they didn't put the bird on for Baltimore. They put the O over it. I would have liked to seen the bird, but maybe it just didn't look as well because that Brewer thing on the white popped. Now I was just wondering if it wouldn't have worked as well on the navy blue. I at that part, I didn't make up the uniforms or anything, but I would have liked to seen that. But I like the uniforms a lot. The crowd was great. They gave multiple standing ovations for Nolan Arenado. They did a good job. They really did.
And they were thrown into a bad spot, with the whole Atlanta thing. And they took advantage of it, and
yeah, most definitely.
What are they supposed to do?
Yeah, and I would say the only thing I took away from the home run derby was everyone was wearing 44 for Hank Aaron, and they had a nice tribute for him last night too. But I just was. It was fine that they were all wearing that the night before. I just thought Major League Baseball didn't need to do that to even emphasize even more about how much they politicized this All-Star game. Because at that point, what you're doing is you're allowing, and we're all going to have those people in our lives that are going to be like, they're going to bring it up, that they can bring up again. Well, they should have never left Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. Your opinion's your opinion. But what it does is it opens that up for that barstool talk, where someone gets to tell you their political opinion about whether or not they should have moved it or not. And that's all. Tribute to Hank Aaron, he passed away, home run leader. Everything is about his story is amazing. But you were bringing up again that, yes, it was supposed to be in Atlanta. Yes, Major League Baseball, you moved it. You made it political. And I just thought that was the only thing where I'm like, maybe you just want to shy away from that. That's all, a little bit for that thing. But, yeah, it was good All-Star game. I'm happy for it. We have to we do have to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to get ready to talk to Emily Van Buskirk. We're going to talk to her about everything from Trevor Bauer to Richard Sherman. Did you see this?
I did see that this morning.
To Rachel Nichols and everything, and all the stuff she's getting ready to do for college football. We consider our college football analyst our expert, but we haven't talked to Emily in a while, so we're going to reach out to her. But we do have to take a quick break here at ESPN 1170 AM. But first, I want to remind you, Front Street Brewery, the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, is nestled beautifully along the banks of the mighty Mississippi and has served the fine community of Davenport, Iowa since 1992 with some of their awesome beers they have on tap, like the Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, the Raging River, an English-inspired American India IPA with incredible balance featuring an earthy, slightly fruity hop aroma with mildly breaded malt notes. Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. And don't forget about their tap room at 208 East River Drive at the Freight House Complex. Stop by there anytime before or after you go to Modern Woodman Park to check out the River Bandits. And make sure that you go to all your favorite bars, restaurants, and tell them that they need to get Front Street Brewery on tap. We will be right back here. Don't hassle us, we're local. ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Coach A.C. Earl. Don't hassle us, we're local.
Barton Solvents, a family-owned company in Bettendorf, is hiring drivers with commercial driver's license. Here's your chance to start a career as a truck driver with a great area employer. Barton Solvents has been taking care of their employees for over 83 years. When you become part of the Barton family, you will enjoy great benefits, including a company-sponsored retirement plan fully funded by Barton Solvents. Most drivers are home every night, but some may spend one night a week on the road, so this is a great opportunity for a family-oriented person. To apply, call Barton Solvents at 563-355-0203 to set up an interview. No need to apply online. They'd rather talk to you in person. This could be the last job you'll ever need. It starts when you call Barton Solvents in Bettendorf. Call 563-355-0203. That's 563-355-0203. Here's your chance to start a career as a truck driver with a great area employer, Barton Solvents.
Don't you feel so free out here on the lake?
Not as free as this soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
Casey's. Buy 4 fountain drinks, 5th one's free.
I love free.
Bought this jerky, got this free donut too. And these chips could win me a free Lee Brice concert here in our town.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including a free Lee Brice concert for your town. Casey's, here for good. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. For official rules, visit Casey's.com.
When you're ready to buy something, the first thing you do is go online. But buying a home is different. You've got loan applications, pre-approvals, competing offers, the list goes on. That's where a Realtor comes in. Realtors have expertise and local knowledge to give you a competitive edge that a search bar just can't. And in today's market, an edge is what you need. So when you're ready to buy a home, the first thing to do is make sure you have an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Thousands of us cockroaches are infecting you with germs.
Spiders are hiding in your corners and clothes waiting to bite you.
Harmful termites are destroying your home.
Mice are chewing through your wiring and leaving droppings everywhere.
What's that noise?
324-2625. Got pests? Call Midwest.
They called Midwest Pest Management.
Are disgusting pests bugging you? Call Midwest Pest Management. They're professional, affordable, and they treat your home like family.
324-2625. Got pests? Call Midwest.
AJ here, get your t-shirts here, sweatshirts or polos here, GT Sports here, new owners, new items. I'm AJ at GT Sports, the best damn apparel shop in the Quad Cities with custom apparel, backpacks, uniforms, drinkware, hats, and much more. We are the embroidery and screen printing champions you can count on. GT Sports has it and is ready to serve you. Just down from Helium and Eldridge or find us online at GT Sportswear. GT Sports here, get your t-shirts here, sweatshirts or polos here, GT Sports here.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Tomorrow's the deadline for players given the franchise tag to come to terms on a long-term extension. But according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, no such deal will take place between the Jets and Marcus May. Ian noting that the situation is, quote, not in a good place. May not the only player who will miss out on an extension. Rap Sheet also reporting Tuesday that Bears wide receiver Allen Robinson doesn't appear to be close on a long-term deal with the Bears and will instead play this season on the $17.88 million franchise tag. The Saints quarterback competition is one we'll be keeping an eye on when camps open up in 2 weeks. Defensive star Cam Jordan joined the Good Morning Football crew on Tuesday but wasn't ready to tip the team's hand, telling the crew, quote, "It's beyond my pay grade." And I like to say not many things are beyond my pay grade, but that is. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
When you're ready to buy something, the first thing you do is go online. But buying a home is different. You've got loan applications, pre-approvals, competing offers, the list goes on. That's where a Realtor comes in. Realtors have expertise and local knowledge to give you a competitive edge that a search bar just can't. And in today's market, an edge is what you need. So when you're ready to buy a home, the first thing to do is make sure you have an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
How can I make sure my office never stops working?
With Staples Connect, it's possible. I need to keep my back office stocked without messing up my bottom line. Also possible because Staples Connect has your small business covered with big savings on everything you need to get work done. This week, earn 30% back in a Staples store bonus when you buy any 2 ink cartridges, including HP. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Limit 4, in-store only. Visit staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details and 724.
Open our app to listen live, win stuff, and to sign up for breaking news alerts. Never miss a thing on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Thank you for tuning in, listening to us on ESPN 1170 AM. Thank you for tuning in on your radio or the app. Download the app at ESPN 1170 AM on ESPN1170am.com. And also, you can listen to us on Facebook Live. Leave comments on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. All kinds of fun stuff like that. Adrian, what do you like tonight as far as the NBA goes? It looks like right now that, what is it, Milwaukee's a -4?
Milwaukee's -4. The over-under is 220, is what I saw. I've been riding the Suns. Suns in 5.
Yeah?
I don't know. Just fun to say.
Just fun to say. Because you can't say the Suns in 4
Yeah, I can't say the Suns in 4. No.
Yeah.
They lose tonight. It'll be like Suns in 6.
Yeah, because it's just fun to say.
It's just how it's going.
Keep saying it. Just keep saying it over and over again until eventually it works.
Yeah, I just think they have the better team. And I wouldn't mind seeing these guys get a ring. Chris Paul get a ring. DeAndre Ayton. Let's hold Giannis out a little bit longer.
Yeah, Milwaukee's not doing him any favors. The funny thing about that is I've spent a better part of 3 years giving Chris Paul a lot of trouble verbally about his play and about the only thing he's ever done in the playoffs is pulling a hamstring. But yes, he's playing really well, and it would be nice for him to get that ring. I don't, either care either way, but it would be probably best for him. I don't know if it's how great this is for
State Farm's gonna love it.
Yeah. That's true. They're the only ones, because the rest of them, because the other thing is that, this probably the finals this is not going to be a very highly rated finals as far as Nielsen goes.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's give Emily a call. We haven't checked in with her in a while, and talk to her about some of the stuff that we've been seeing and some of the Richard Sherman stuff as well. This is always the fun part of the show. We get to call someone. There we go.
Hello.
Emily.
Hi.
Hi, it's Jay. We have Adrian in the studio. T-Roy's taking the day off. You know how it goes. He takes too many days off, whatever.
I've been there when he's almost had to.
Yeah. So you got me and Adrian in here, and we haven't checked in with you in a while. So I reached out to you yesterday and just wanted to see what you're up to, what you have on your plate as far as the college football, your schedule, what you're going to be covering, any podcasts that you're doing, whatnot, and then a lot of other things, because you're out there on the West Coast, and I feel like you also know some things that might be interesting as far as the Trevor Bauer situation. But so we're kind of all over the map, and then you have Richard Sherman too from Stanford. He's a Stanford guy. Yeah. And that kind of thing happened this morning. What I'm understanding, let's just start with the Richard Sherman, because that's the breaking stuff.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Am I just assuming that he was intoxicated and showed up at a family member's house and wouldn't leave, and then he tried to fight the cops?
Is that so? I mean, that's one plausible scenario, I suppose. I was just, first of all, waking up to this news was not fun. Richard Sherman was my first big story that I ever wrote with Christian McCaffrey. But before I was even a writer, I wrote about Richard Sherman, and he and I have been, friends for a long time. And I covered him when he was at Stanford, and he almost got cut, at a wide receiver position. Then he made this transition. So Sherman has been a big part of my journey through sports journalism. So, and I've known him as a person as well as a player. So hearing this news is obviously not fun. It's a little disturbing, but I think we don't know, much about the case, right? We know that he was arrested. We know what the charges were, and the burglary, domestic violence. People are kind of assuming that, it could be his home that he was locked out of and trying to get back into a dispute with his wife, which is a possibility. There would have had to be an order of protection, from her for that to be the case, because you can't burglarize your own residence. So then there's the theory that maybe this is like some sort of girlfriend that he's having a dispute with. And then, of course, your theory about the family member. So all we know is that he was trying to get into a home that wasn't his. And the fact that he's being held without bail is very, very interesting. It leads me to believe that it was a significant altercation. So whether that's him with the police in the altercation or him with the residents of the home, we're not sure. But it is definitely disturbing. And I think Richard Sherman has hit a bit of a crossroads, both career-wise and everything. So there may be a lot of frustration and anger. He's a very outspoken person, as we all know. So if somebody does something to him that he doesn't like or feels unjust, he's definitely going to speak out about it. So I don't know what it is, but I'm interested to follow this as it goes. I just hope it has nothing to do, with women or children. That's my hope for the case.
Yeah, and again, I think it's as far as, I was getting ready for this show, and ESPN has been updating the ESPN.com, and it says that a person calling said that an adult male family member who did not live at the residence was attempting to force his way into the home. I think when you bring up that, without bail, it is a big deal, but it does say that that he fought with the police, but eventually was apprehended and then he had to go to the local hospital to be checked out.
Okay, so it could be the altercation with them. Yeah. And given everything and how charged, the country is, and I could see that, escalating to a point of frustration, and who knows how he felt about it, but maybe he was just trying to speak to somebody that he wasn't supposed to. Yeah. And they didn't want him there, but we'll have to wait and see. That's the biggest thing with all these cases, is that we don't know all the information, and we have to wait and see about it. But hopefully he is okay and everybody else is okay, and they're getting kind of help that they need in this situation.
Let me throw this also at you, though, because we shouldn't, like you said, we need all the details before we do anything. But a spokesman for the Redmond Police Department, that's in Washington, told ESPN that it is standard procedure for suspects of domestic violence to be denied bail before they can appear before a judge. So he has to see a judge first before they'll put bail on him. So he could be out right now for all we know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. The timeline is, it's real time, so it's like hard. We're not going to get updated. I was trying to look up records this morning after we spoke to see if there was any orders of protection or restraining orders against him in the county. And I haven't heard back yet, but there'll be a lot of people doing the same, just trying to figure out what's going on. So.
And he's a free agent, but he was also making his voice heard he's been on podcasts. He's been on with Chris Collinsworth and everything else. He's been doing a really good job making his voices maybe doing that next step of his career as far as covering the NFL. Yeah,
I think and he always had a great voice for broadcast, and I think that was something that he always thought about. But the problem is, it's very hard to let go of your playing years. These guys do not want to hang up their cleats until they're ready, and having that happen when you don't want it to happen can be frustrating. So I could see where, this isn't exactly where he pictured and what he pictured he'd be doing. And that transition's really hard, so I really hope that everything's okay. He has always been such a great person to me and so respectful and such a great interview and all of his time at Stanford. So it's sad to hear. I just hope that everybody's okay in the situation.
Yes, absolutely. And just talking about more situations, and I guess we're dealing more with the things that people are getting in trouble for. What's going on with Bauer? Like, what is this situation? I mean, you're pretty well connected in the Major League Baseball community, and you're also on the West Coast, whatever else. What we're trying to figure is what we understand is that he chats it up with the lady via Instagram. Yeah. They agreed to hooking up.
First and foremost, like, why?
Yep.
My biggest question with this is, like, why Instagram? I mean, this guy is the highest paid athlete in baseball. He's, all over the place. He has a media company. He meets people all the time. Why are you talking to girls on Instagram, Trevor? I don't understand that. That's my first question for all of this. It's not a safe space to meet, in my opinion, somebody who it's going to go straight and narrow. Do you know what I mean? Like, that to me was the first red flag in this whole thing.
Yes. All right. So let's start. Let's start on everything you just pointed out. Is he just naive to the fact that Deshaun Watson met all of his former masseuses on Instagram as well? Like, are you just naive and just think like you're not learning anything from this?
Now, I have to say, first and foremost, I've never met Trevor. I've only known stories about him through people that I know, like Rachel Lupa and Jessica and people who've dealt with him directly. And those people in his circle have always said, glowing things about him, right?
Yep.
But then you read articles in the past and you see kind of how he spoke about women and his attitude towards different things. And it didn't quite jive in my mind with this person that they were touting. And so I was always kind of reserved. I've never met him. Obviously, I've just, seen him through social media and through his words and articles. And he always struck me as kind of overconfident, which I think you have to be to a degree if you're a professional athlete. You need to be confident in your ability and whatnot. But this is my experience with baseball, is that these guys, I don't know if they think they're above the law per se, but they definitely don't think normal rules apply. And having worked in baseball several years, it's not necessarily that they're evil bad guys, but they do have this sense of entitlement. So I don't think that they think there's anything wrong with going to Instagram and finding girls because they don't think anything bad's going to happen. But this is the proof that absolutely anything bad can happen to anybody, and you can get yourself into scenarios that you never imagined. So I think that's where it comes from, is they just don't imagine a world where anyone would turn on them,
Yeah, and I'm with you on this, like something doesn't jive. I mean, 2 years ago, if I'm sitting there and talking about, man, this guy, he's got it down. He's telling girls, every single one of them, I'm not into a long-term relationship.
Right.
The moment you start wanting to define the relationship, we're done. And he would say that, all right? And I'm like, this guy, man. And then you find out that he's dating his agent.
Yes.
And so you're like, wait a minute, what happened to this guy that was like, nope, my entire career will be only about me and pitching, and I'm going to make the most money I can, and I'm not going to sign a long-term deal. I'm only going to sign one-year deals. So all this stuff that he comes out says, it kind of just, they start contradicting.
Right.
This thing happened in April. I feel like he has been dating his agent before April.
I have never, ever been told. So, as you know, I know these girls, and I've never been told really one way or another what the real. I know that Rachel has known him since college, and that their families are close, and that they've always been close. I always assumed they were just, clients, lawyer privileges, agent privileges, whatever it is. But yes, there was a lot of talk that they were dating and that they had been dating, and they still were while this was going on. Now, I don't know if maybe it's, what the nature of their relationship is. The relationships look like very different these days. They could be open. They could, whatever it is.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's not for us to, define
exactly.
for them.
And whatever. Yes. But Rachel has always been a, supporter of women. And that's why I think this is very hard for her. And we've seen her kind of like shrink back from it a little bit. And after the initial, speaking, and then people there was a little bit of backlash when they posted those text messages from the victim. So I think this has got to be really hard for her, and my heart kind of goes out
to
her in that situation, because you want to believe that the guy that you're championing all these years is a good guy, that he really is a good guy. But at the end of the day, like, we don't know what we don't know, and there's a lot of things in this case that are interesting. The fact that it's being done in a civil court and not a criminal court, and the fact that they're just looking at the assault charges, not the rape charges. So legally, it's a nightmare. I was just talking to my sister. She's an assistant district attorney in Queens, and she deals a lot with domestic abuse and child abuse. And she just walked me through the whole case, like, point by point, and where it's weird, where it's not, and really ultimately how it'll be resolved. And the fact that he was not arrested immediately when, this was brought to the police, that is definitely something that's concerning as far as whether the DA will think that there's a case that they can bring.
And so do you think that's what Major League Baseball is doing, just trying to wait to see what's going to go forward? Because now we jumped right into this. We have to talk to the listeners and say so what happened was, again, he met this lady on Instagram. They agreed to have a hookup, so to speak. And there's a certain fetish that they agreed to, but which she agreed to some of it. There's also a little bit more excessive that she didn't agree to, and that's where the idea that comes in. Like you said, she's saying yes, I did agree to a certain amount of, and you guys can look this up. We don't need to get too deep into this.
There's articles all over the internet, and you can see it.
But she said it was to a point. I don't know if they didn't have a safe word, or I don't know. Pineapples are in season these days. I don't know. So but that's where the problem is. And so when you're bringing that up, and your sister's assistant DA, and there hasn't been any charges brought against him, so Major League Baseball, they went from basically almost doing nothing to
nothing.
Nothing, and then turning around and being okay, we're gonna write about the
paid leave
All-Star, and then they said they were gonna extend it a little bit more. I think they're probably waiting on it, but.
Well, this is what she said I asked her directly. I said, do you think this is going to affect, his job? Because let's say he's a regular person with a regular job. Would something like this affect you? And she said, in her expertise and experience with this, that she believes that when the charges are brought, if they're brought, that is when the Dodgers will likely, sever ties. Because regardless of what happens in a trial like that or anything, once there's charges like that filed, that affects your relationship with your employee and employer. And that's going to be kind of the kicker, is what she thinks as far as that goes. So, but I think we saw at the All-Star game, all the quotes from the players. I mean, them unfollowing him, the players, his teammates saying, we're not focused on this right now. We're moving forward. I think the articles that people wrote about that, saying that was telling, was very interesting, to say the least.
What do you mean? Their teammates are just kind of saying, we're going to do a wait-and-see approach too, or we don't want to talk about it?
I don't even think it's a wait-and-see. I mean, if you're unfollowing your teammate on social media, that's a pretty straightforward, we don't like the behavior. I mean, I thought the article with Dave Stewart was the most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and said, he was supposed to go to this anniversary celebration, and he was disgusted with the way the Dodgers handled it, them waiting and not taking any action against someone who might have, and of course he is innocent until proven guilty. That is fair, but some of the things are very hard to ignore. The images of this young woman, some of the texts, even the ones from her to him, are just things that make you kind of uneasy. And to not do anything was very frustrating for a lot of people, whether you're a Dodgers fan or not. So I think, and his statements were very interesting. And I think the Dodgers players themselves, I mean, them following is one thing, but at the All-Star game, they're saying, we're just focusing on moving ahead. We don't know anything. We're just looking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to talk about it because nobody really wants to talk about this. That's the problem, is it's uncomfortable, and we don't want to talk about it. And it's, how could this person that we all looked up to and paid all this money to do these things, or possibly have done these things? No one wants to. We don't want to talk about it, but we have to. They have to address these things.
Thank you. You have to. You have to talk about this stuff, because the more you try to bury it, and that's what the Dodgers want to do here. And I don't care if you are a Dodgers fan or not. I mean, this behavior of the Dodgers is not shocking to me at all.
It's not. But it's like, how long is this going to go on with them? Where this is just going to be a thing,
There were years of going on that the Dodgers themselves would just turn a blind side to fights in their stadium, and teams would come in, fans of other teams, and just walk out with black eyes or whatever else, and they didn't.
Absolutely. I mean, the Giants and Dodgers series were dangerous for a very long time. Until Brian Stowe, I think we didn't really see any resolution to that. But I thought it appeared that baseball was going in a, somewhat better direction. Now that we've had all these domestic abuse things come to light and people are finally speaking about them, you would think in this time, this is the time when you would stand up to it,
Yep. Okay.
So it is shocking a little bit.
Transition. Adrian and I talked about this on Monday, and talking about, speaking of things when we're just going to pretend they'll go away, ESPN and the Rachel Nichols situation.
Yeah.
So And the reason why I ask you is because you're a female in sports, and obviously you do great things, and you know how hard it is firsthand. You know how hard it is to get your name out there without, I don't know, someone mentioning that you have breasts in your DMs, and that's the only reason why you're doing things. You know what I'm saying? So you have Rachel Nichols, who has fought and done a great job, and Maria Taylor, who's exceptional at her job as well. But she is mic'd. She doesn't realize she's being mic'd still.
Yes.
And she brings up that, Maria Taylor is getting her job because of a crappy history of diversity within ESPN. Now, you can look at it a couple ways. People look at it and they're like, well, it's racist or whatever else. But on the other side of it, sexism, like Rachel Nichols had worked hard, too, to get to where she's at.
Right.
And I don't know where it falls on. Like you can, it's tough.
It is. And honestly, reading it, you have so many mixed emotions. Myself being a female in this industry, seeing two females pitted against each other in this situation by a corporation is frustrating. But I can't say that it's not a narrative that we don't see all the time. Women are notoriously difficult with each other, more so than men, honestly. Sometimes it's more difficult to go up against women because we are put in these situations where we have to fight amongst each other. It's like it should be us against, the stereotype, but it often is not. And this is like the prime example of the fight being made into something bigger, right? And obviously Rachel did not know she was being, recorded. So, and God help us, all of us that say things when we don't, we're not expecting to be recorded. None of us are perfect, and we've all probably said things about our coworkers that are less than favorable, right?
Sure.
But I don't think that she means any. I mean, I don't know Rachel personally. I don't know Maria personally. They both do amazing work. I think this is ESPN. We're looking at ESPN and seeing this kind of. They were this pinnacle of sports for so long, and we're seeing through these cracks like how toxic this culture really is there, and it's eye-opening. This is where everybody wanted to work. When I was younger, it's like ESPN was like where you wanted to go, and you see all these young people striving for jobs there, but what is this place really, and what do they promote? And that's kind of where we're coming out. It's less about these two women. I feel like more about the culture that the leader of sports has been cultivating for so long. So I think it's awful, but we're finally seeing the true face. You know what I mean?
Well, look at all of it, though. When you say what are they trying to promote, what they're not promoting is the young lady who actually recorded the thing, sent it out to other coworkers.
She got it the worst.
She got it the worst. First they suspended her. Now she's no longer employed by ESPN.
Yep. And that's part of that, like, erase and move on kind of mentality where if you go against the grain, then this is what you get. And that's age old. That has nothing to do with race or gender or anything. That's just life. And so, it sucks because these are two women that everybody looks up to, and now it's become them against each other. And I hate that because that's one thing that people don't understand is like there are women out there that are like nasty and will go after you for that. But I don't believe that that's what the situation was. I think it was just, them frustrated with the corporation.
Yeah. And I don't, if you break it down, and Adrian, we talked about this on Monday, Rachel's looking at it as like, don't take food off my plate. It wasn't, I don't think it was like that Maria Taylor's not qualified. I think it was just kind of like you have ESPN, you have a bad reputation for diversity, but don't take it out on me. And I think instead of like looking at the ESPN as a whole, the employees within, they just decided to, like you said, they're pitting two people against each other, and they've done it before. ESPN did it. I mean, when Maria Taylor left, they're like, well, we offered her $3 million. They try to make it seem like it wasn't a toxic environment. They're like, we offered her all this money. She walked away from it. She's the one that doesn't want to be with us. We want her to be here.
It's like, think about that. If someone's walking away from it like that, there has to be a pretty for that. Like that in and of itself is an example. I mean, like, they're making our own case for them. They're just not smart.
Yeah.
Not smart.
They
should just give her Stephen Taylor's platform and be done with it.
Let's talk about you. What do you have on your agenda, your schedule coming up for this college football season?
It's finally getting in gear. It's been such a long spring, I guess, if you will. But finally, next week, heading out on the road for what's about to be an epic college football season. I'm teaming up with my friend Kim Montoro. She is a photographer. She currently works for the Yankees. She's worked for the NFL. and she's incredible. So we're going to be doing some fun, like photo essay type stories throughout the season every weekend. But next week I'm going to Big Ten Media Day in Indianapolis, so that's very exciting. First time going there. And then I'm heading to Kentucky, where I'll be calling a summer ball baseball game on the video. And then I'm actually going to be coaching in it in one of the games. They're going to have me in dugout in uniform. I'm going to be doing a story on it. So fun fact is I used to coach baseball when I started out in the industry. I used to coach high school baseball. So I learned from Darren Lewis himself, the former Giant.
Yeah.
He was on our staff. And, yeah, I don't really talk about those days very much, but I coached high school varsity baseball. So the Owensboro River Dogs are going to have me as their guest, and I'm very excited. And then from there I go to LA for Pac-12 Media Day. So it'll be a busy week.
Sounds like it. Now, and then you were just on ESPN?
What's up?
Were you just on ESPN during the 4th of July?
Oh, yes. So I was at the hot dog eating contest in Coney Island.
Yeah. And you made
I was on the I wasn't broadcasting, but we ended up being on TV because we were right in front there. It was bizarre, to say the least. It was very cool, but very weird.
Very weird?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen competitive eating ever, even though, I've been friends with Joey for a long time, and it's always been an issue. He hates that I've never seen him eat. Like, he gets really upset about it. So I finally was like, all right, I'm going to go. And I was following an eater called George Tucker around. And his cousin is Ron Keller, a former 12-year NFL veteran, offensive lineman, and coach. They did a whole story about is competitive eating athletes or are they not? And it was really interesting. Normal people in their regular lives go eat 50-plus hot dogs on stage in 10 minutes. So
yeah.
Bizarre. We were in the splash zone, so it was pretty crazy.
That is really crazy.
Yes.
All right, Emily, tell everyone where they can follow you at and any podcasts that you have coming up.
Absolutely. So, definitely follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram. My handle is Emilnem, EMILNEM, not Eminem, although a lot of people end up thinking that. And definitely check out the website, sidelinesfast.com. Follow the podcast, Sidelines Fast. This week I have two of the competitive eaters from the hot dog contest coming on to talk about their experience. And I'm having one next week with some college football players who are taking advantage of the new likeness policy. So I'm going to be talking with them about, I have a quarterback from Tulane. I've got a player from Marshall. So guys that are, and I'm going to have some female athletes as well, talk about, how they're taking advantage of this new opportunity. So it should be fun.
Yeah, let's have another interview after you talk to them, because I want to talk about the NIL with you.
Yes, absolutely. It's wild. It is a wild, wild west time right now, and it's fun to watch. I never thought we'd be here, they're running with it, so I'm glad for them.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everything, all your insight, and thank you for answering my text when I asked you to be on the show. I appreciate it.
Of course, I look forward to it every morning. So.
All right. I will talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Have a great day. Yep. Bye.
Bye.
All right. That's Emily there, Van Buskirk. We're going to have to take a quick break here. We've got to get their ads in before the top of the hour here on ESPN 1170 AM. Great interview, Adrian. You were lights out there.
Not much I have
This
to
is
say
Tyson
there.
Blazer, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local on ESPN 1170 AM.
Save today on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Light up your garage or workspace with Patriot Lighting. Get a 15,000 lumen high bay light that's energy efficient and swivels to adjust light where you need it. All Patriot Lighting is 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through Saturday, July 17th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
When was the last time you felt really good about you? When you got up yesterday, were you stoked or smoked? You could have a medical condition known as hypogonadism.
Hypo what?
Better known as low testosterone. And Limitless Male can fix that. If you have low energy, no sex drive, belly fat, brain fog, irritable, Limitless Male can get your life back. Take the quiz and schedule your complimentary consult at limitlessmale.com. Insurance accepted.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We'll help you find everything you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $28.99. And if you're an AutoZone Rewards member, you'll also get a $5 bonus reward. Get what you need fast and get the job done easier.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
How hard can it be to find a Python pro?
Sam's startup had a front-end developer walk out the back door. He needs a new software engineer, stat.
What do you mean they just quit? We go live in 72 hours.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Renewal by Anderson.
When it came time to replace our old drafty windows, we opted for quality with style, installed by professionals.
Renewal by Anderson.
I'm Sam Hare with Renewal by Anderson. It's July and savings are heating up for the summer. It's our 31-day countdown sale. Get $350 off every window, $900 off every patio door, and with our easy payment options, there's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 24 months. It's a 31-day countdown for huge savings. $350 off every window, $900 off every patio door at Renewal by Anderson, the Energy Star Partner of the Year. Keep that cool air in and enjoy the savings. Visit us at our showroom in Davenport or online at renewalbyanderson.com.
Renewal by Anderson. We love our new windows.
Listen to every game on your sports leader. Download our app for our play-by-play schedule and never miss a thing from the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
This is Turk Wendell, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I don't know if I want Justin Fields right out of the gate just to be the guy. I would like for him to ease himself into it. But I started finding myself thinking, if he does start right out of the gate, does that buy Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another year? Is it bad that I'm even putting myself in that situation now? I'm thinking about, are you doing what's best for the player, Justin Fields? Are you doing what's best in the interest of Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to make sure that, hey, we gave our rookie a start, we gave him everything he needed, a quarterback like Andy Dalton who's there to help him out, build him up. It's going to take some time, guys. But we got to be patient.
This isn't Jacksonville. This is a playoff team. I wouldn't mind starting him immediately because they got pieces in place, especially on defense. Offensively, they've gotten better. Allen Robinson is back now. So when you look at it, it's like, if he wins the job, it might make sense to start him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
Does Aaron Rodgers get moved before the season starts?
The two teams in the AFC for me would be the Raiders, and I know they got Carr, but you send Carr back to Green Bay. I know John Gruden he's probably sitting there just trying to figure out how to get that done because he's never satisfied the quarterback spot.
Never.
Think about it. He tried to get Brett Favre when Brett was 60. So, I mean.
But if you think about it, though, as far as location goes for Aaron Rodgers.
He was Vegas.
Vegas would be, Vegas would be optimal. Obviously, Bay Area, where he's from, like that would have really been.
That's why he was
better
really
for
pushing.
him. Yeah.
He was really pushing for that San Francisco opportunity because they had a winning team. And the Raiders, maybe he is a guy who can kick them over the top. But those are the two teams in the AFC that make sense.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Welcome back. Don't Hassle for Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. It's Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. I want to thank Emily Van Buskirk for the phone call. A lot of information there, Adrian.
Tons to work with. What do you want me to say? Something there? I was just ruining the interview.
You wouldn't
the
ruin it at all.
The entire thing was going great. She was
feel
filled
like,
with information. Things I didn't even know. Things knows Richard Sherman. Knows people that know Trevor Bauer.
Well, she's got a.
How am I supposed to add to that?
Even though she's got this connection to Stanford, even though she went to St. Mary's, And so, like she said, like she's been covering him and that's not news that you want to wake up to, especially if someone that you're close to.
Yeah, you know, and you care about somebody in your life. No, absolutely not.
And obviously she's a professional, and she knows how to carry herself and what to say and what not to say.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she shared that much about Trevor Bauer, what she knows, means that she feels confident that it's not going to come back and bite her in the rear end.
One thing. Who unfollowed him as a teammate?
I don't know.
I didn't. I was going to chime in there, but it was just not. I didn't feel like it was a smooth transition, right?
Well, that's the other thing. Like, if people are reporting on that, I don't have that in me to like go and look at who people are following on in social media.
Absolutely not. People care about that. That happens all the time.
I know.
What was it the other day? LeBron and Anthony Davis started following like Russell Westbrook's wife.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, they're going to be teammates next year now. Like,
well,
we're just speculating right away. Like, and now you get teammates leaving Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a good sign.
Well, this is the crazy thing. You and I have been around people here in the Quad Cities where someone has said like, oh, they're no longer friends with me on Facebook, and you're like, okay, that's a big deal. Is that a big deal to you? And they're like, yeah. And then to see it in the sports world, like people reporting on it, like,
big deal.
It's a huge deal. Because I mean, if
these
someone
are top headlines, Jay.
Yes, but if someone told me like, I don't know, if someone were to say like, oh, I don't know, if someone just to say like, hey, do you still do that radio show on Facebook? Be like, yeah, it's on Facebook Live. And they're like, oh, I don't know, I muted you because I was getting notifications. I would never be like, what? You muted me?
Can't believe you did that.
Yeah, like, but this is a big deal.
I have plenty of friends that I don't follow on in social media for certain reasons. I'm like, we could be friends, but
sure,
just not on here.
Yeah, but the idea that someone's like digging into that is crazy to me. We'll get back into this conversation more. We do have to make another phone call. We got to call Mike from Hidden Hills, and we're going to put together a British Open DFS because they tee off at 12:35 in the morning our time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're going to talk to Mike out at Hidden Hills here and put a DFS together.
Hidden Hills Golf Course.
Yo, Mike, what's up, buddy?
How's it going over there in the studio?
It's going all right. It's going well. How are things going out there at Hidden Hills?
We are doing really well. We've got a couple storms approaching, I feel.
Really?
A little.
Yeah, some violent storms are coming, I believe, into the area. It's going to be high winds.
Oh, man.
Maybe some hail.
I know
most of it's going to go north, but
we might get clipped here in the next few hours, but hopefully it's this way.
It's going to be a quick one, though. I don't believe it's supposed to stick around for very long.
So, Mike, did you get to make it all out to the John Deere Classic?
I did not go out there. I saw it on TV. I watched as much as I could.
Yeah. It was a nice time. Shout out to your sister-in-law Lindsay for getting me into talking to some of the director of the caddies and everything else. That was nice of her. I appreciated that.
Great.
Yeah. So
you think?
What?
What did you think of that? Was it that caddy
I think the guy Ron who directs it, I think the guy is amazing. And I think what he's done for those caddies is great. And the fact that we had Adam call in, he walked the golfers to the first tee box, and the caddies said nothing but good things about the John Deere Classic and the way that they were treated. And what Ron has done is a great thing. He's out of West Des Moines. He does this for about 6 different golf outings, but he really, really puts his heart and soul into it. So I thought that was one of the better stories that I could take out of the John Deere Classic. Outside of, Glover winning the first time in 10 years.
Definitely. I think just the volunteers that do all that stuff is crazy because, they don't get a ton of credit, but they do a ton of work. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's I don't know what you have to do to. I mean, obviously, it's not hard to look into being a volunteer, but to get up that ladder to a certain level would be interesting. I'm sure if I would just be in catering or whatever else. If I just volunteered for next year, they'd be like, yeah, you got to do it.
We're gonna put you over here.
Yeah. You got to pay your dues till you get up to do what Linda did when she was driving the media around from the parking area, the shuttle.
You're gonna squirt hand sanitizer in the hands.
Yeah. That's it. So, I think they did a great job out there, and I hope next year it can only go back to normal because there was a limitation as far as like, you remember the hospitality suites and everything, Mike, out there on 18? Yeah, there's not double deckers or anything like that, and the air conditioning, and it's not like they needed it, but they weren't closed off. It was wide open now, but I think eventually you'll get there.
No, the weather didn't do anybody any favors. It was off and on rain for 4 days.
Yeah.
Kind of but it may go on. So
now,
keep it going.
When are you going to get in that Pro-Am on Wednesday?
Oh, geez. Got to get my game. If you start giving me lessons and I work with you, that's probably my only shot. So
listen to me. I was there at the Pro-Am. You could play in that Pro-Am. The majority of people that were playing in the Pro-Am on Wednesday were not top-notch golfers.
No, not the Pro-Am. I'm looking at the Monday qualifier for the whole event.
Oh.
That's what I need. I need a coach.
There's a qualifier for that?
Yeah. You could play if you get your game right.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Get your game right, Jay.
I'm not going to do that.
You got a year, bud. You want things back to normal.
Yeah, I know. I'm not doing that. No, I can't do that.
Jay Foster, 2022.
I don't know.
Make it a goal for next year.
You should do that. I just want to caddy.
You're on my team if we're in the Pro-Am. There's no questions about that.
That would be a lot of fun. There'd be some videos out there, whatever. But so now we have the British Open. They're going to tee off tomorrow at basically it's 12:35 our time tonight.
Yep. No, it's the morning.
Yep. Are you going to wake up in the middle of the night and watch this?
No, I used to. I don't anymore.
You don't do that anymore.
No.
Let's put a team together for a DFS.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's start collecting these earnings, and then we'll just pay for that Pro-Am next year coming in.
That's exactly that's a great idea. I mean, it's only $4,700 per person, so let's start hitting some things here. Let's start winning some DFS money.
Did you make some money last week?
No, we didn't make any money last week.
Huh.
Not on our team, no.
Okay.
But no, wait. No, did you give me a team last week, or did I just make my own?
We weren't on radio.
We weren't on radio last week. I made my own. No, I didn't. No, I needed you. I didn't make any money. No, but let's make some money this week. What are we going to do this week? Are we going stars and scrubs? Are we going right down the middle? What are we going to look for?
We're going Scottish Open value picks.
Okay.
Scottish Open was last week.
Sure.
It's kind of like the training for all the guys go over and play it because, get used to the weather, get used to the climate, whatever you want to do, the travel, all that stuff. So I've got a couple value picks that finished well in the Scottish Open that's going to give us some money for some big players.
Love where your head's at.
Okay. I've got my two picks are a Jay Senior.
Okay. I'm sorry, say that again.
Jay Senior.
Yeah, I got you. I see him, yeah. All right, he's got two top 10s, 10 out of the last 14 cuts. Okay, he's made for $6,700. Okay, he's in.
Did well in the Scottish Open.
All right.
T. Dietrich.
Yep, I'm with you. 4 top 10s, 12 out of the last 16 cuts. All right. So those
European players, all right. They're already over there they've been used to it all year.
Sure.
Okay. I've got another Scottish player, but he's a known player. Ian Poulter is usually one. Going with him. I'm going with the two big dogs, DeChambeau and Rahm.
All right, we're going DeChambeau, and then we're going Rahm. And that leaves us with 7,600 left.
And then we're going to go with my favorite, Bezudenhout.
Who?
Bezudenhout.
Oh, yeah, I see that now. Yeah, 7,400. He's got made 15 out of 15 cuts, 1 top 10 now. Dude, this guy makes the cut. That's what we need. That's what the problem is when we miss the cut. That's what hurts us on our DFS.
You see about 60, 70 points out there.
I like that. That's so. Who do you like to win this weekend?
Rahm. I would go with Rahm. Is just probably my favorite. Dustin Johnson. Last time at this course, he did really well. I can't remember, what was it, 2006.
Okay.
And they last played it at this course Dustin Johnson did really well. So I'd go those two as my favorite. But Rahm, just because he feels like he's got something to prove all the time. He's got a little chip on his shoulder. And he's just really good.
Yeah, Rahm, looking at some of the he's plus 700 to win the tournament. He's got the best odds to win right now. And you said DJ as well?
Yeah, he's probably up there on the odds too. I mean,
yeah, he's plus 1,500. He's got the second best odds. Yeah,
it's not your best to win money, but I think if you're going to win some money, I think it's Xander Schauffele is always a good money value. But I don't know what his odds are.
He's plus 1,600. He's got the third best. He's tied with Rory and Brooks Koepka for the best odds, and then it goes Jordan Spieth after that. But you're just flirting with me when you bring up Xander because I like him.
I've always liked him, but at third, I don't think he's favored. I mean, he could win, but third best favorite, I don't know. I don't buy
that. All right. Outside of weather, what do we have coming up here for Hidden Hills? Like, do you got any golf tournaments coming up?
Really, not that we're putting on. We've got some outings coming up. Just basic public play. We've been busy. Leagues are going strong. Our Labor Day is our next event that we do.
Okay.
So that's not for another month and a half or so. So yeah, we're on cruise control right now, just public play and keeping the course as nice as we can. The rain's helped.
Yeah.
Everything's going into August. We can't complain with that.
Well, I feel like you're isn't this your time too to be on cruise control? Because you've got, baseball state's probably over with now, right? And any other summer sports you have a little bit of break, right?
Yeah, we just got done with, we've got one more this weekend.
Okay.
AU, Oin. Heyo.
Yep.
So that's our last one. And then, yeah, just kid stuff. But, no, golf course, we've kind of been doing what we've been doing, and we just got some outings and leagues going. So call for a tee time. We're open.
Yeah, go ahead and give Hidden Hills a call at 563-332-5616. That's at 4335 Indiana Avenue in Bettendorf, Iowa. Go to hiddenhills-golf.com and also Hidden Hills GC on your social media, right?
That is correct.
That is it. Hey, Mike, thank you so much for the phone call, for answering my phone calls and helping me with the DFS here. And I will not be waking up at 12:35 for tee off, but I will wake up first thing in the morning and check and see how we're doing.
Just try like 4:30. You'll catch most of it.
Okay, then I'll set the alarm for 4:30 then, and then I'll go catch the rest of the first round of the British Open. But thanks, Mike. I appreciate you, man.
All right, thanks, fellas. Have a good day over there. Appreciate it.
Talk to you soon. All right, there you go, Adrian. I like this.
What were the names again? I started writing them down.
All right, so the DFS, he gave us basically Jack Senior. He's from England. All right, he's like he said, he just played in the Scottish Open. And then hold on. He gave us Thomas Dietrich. He's from Belgium. And then he said he was going to go big dogs after that, so he went Bryson DeChambeau, we know that guy, and Jon Rahm. And then
Ian Poulter as well.
Yeah, then Ian Poulter.
And the last one,
from England, it's Christian Bezuidenhout.
I'm just gonna
Bezuidenhout. He's from South Africa, but he's made 15 out of the last 15 cuts, one top 10. Yeah, so it's a pretty good list here that he's got. Poulter might be the only one that and the Jack Senior kind of, Poulter's got 15 out of 21 cuts, and Jack Senior's got the other ones. But like you said, they played well, the other ones. So yeah, it's a nice little team there. And then I'm going to take a look at some odds and maybe put some money down or whatever. Yeah, last night, we'll talk about that and some more. We do need to take a break here. ESPN 1170 AM, Don't Hassle So Local. We'll take a break and come right back. Talk about some odds, talk about the NBA game tonight, and what we look forward to, maybe who we like, because the odds have changed over who to win. I mean, second half. Now we got to make predictions from the second half on, what we think about Major League Baseball. We'll be right back here, ESPN 1170 AM, Don't Hassle So Local.
This is Rachel Alger with St. Ambrose University, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
When the big times come to a small town, you know it will be done right.
The annual Wapello Pro Rodeo is back this year, July 16th and 17th. If that's not enough, the Wisconsin FMX featuring Cody Kavanaugh will be performing as the specialty act. 2 professional features on 2 amazing nights. The FFA members work hard to bring a family fun event to Louisa County. 2 fun nights and 2 great acts.
Get your tickets today at WapelloRodeo.com before your 8 seconds are up.
Tyson Fresh Meats in Joslin wants you to join their team. If you're a motivated individual, this career is for you. They have immediate openings in heavy skills, make up to $26 per hour, and a $6,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today to get your $6,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, a $6,000 sign-on bonus. Go to TysonFoods.com/careers. Feed your future with Tyson Fresh Meats.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you're looking for a little more out of your engine. Some fuel treatment could help. Right now, we've got buy one, get one free on Chevron Techron Complete Fuel System Cleaner. Plus a $1 bonus reward for AutoZone Rewards members. Not a member? Don't worry. You can join the program fast here at the store or on AutoZone.com. Get what you need fast and get the job done easier.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions at AutoZone.com.
Draft Day Sports Lounge has everything you need to enjoy all the sports action. Over 50 beer options to choose from, great food, sports betting, and a fantastic atmosphere for you and your friends to escape to. They're always adding to the menu to make sure there's the perfect option for everyone. So come visit Draft Day Sports Lounge inside Rhythm City Casino. And if you want to plan ahead, the full menu is at RhythmCityCasino.com.
Hey, Sarah, how's business?
It's going well. Our clients love our work. I just wish that we could figure out how to grow faster.
I hear you. Is it slow for everyone in your industry right now?
Actually, no. I see competitors all over who seem to be very busy, even though I know my work is better than theirs. I just wish I knew how they were finding new customers. If I could do it too, I know I could beat them.
I had that same challenge until I signed up with Town Square. Now my website is on page 1 of Google, and I'm getting leads every day.
Town Square? Was it expensive?
Not at all. 0 cost to build the site, no nickel and diming, and no contracts. Just a monthly subscription that I can cancel anytime. It's awesome.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis that will show you how the most successful businesses grow and how you can do it too with no risk. Be one of the first to sign up and you'll receive $500 in free advertising on this station. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Tomorrow's the deadline for players given the franchise tag to come to terms on a long-term extension, but according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, no such deal will take place between the Jets and Marcus May. Ian noting that the situation is, quote, not in a good place. May not the only player who will miss out on an extension. Rap Sheet also reporting Tuesday that Bears wide receiver Allen Robinson doesn't appear to be close on a long-term deal with the Bears and will instead play this season on the $17.88 million franchise tag. The Saints quarterback competition is one we'll be keeping an eye on when camps open up in 2 weeks. Defensive star Cam Jordan joined the Good Morning Football crew on Tuesday, but wasn't ready to tip the team's hand, telling the crew, quote, "It's beyond my pay grade." And I like to say not many things are beyond my pay grade, but that is. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
When you're ready to buy something, the first thing you do is go online. But buying a home is different. You've got loan applications, pre-approvals, competing offers, the list goes on. That's where a Realtor comes in. Realtors have expertise and local knowledge to give you a competitive edge that a search bar just can't. And in today's market, an edge is what you need. So when you're ready to buy a home, the first thing to do is make sure you have an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
How can I make sure my office never stops working?
With Staples Connect, it's possible.
I need to keep my back office stocked without messing up my bottom line.
Also possible, because Staples Connect has your small business covered with big savings on everything you need to get work done. This week, earn 30% back and a Staples store bonus when you buy any 2 ink cartridges, including HP. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Limit 4, in-store only. Visit staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details. And 724.
When sports news breaks and you're at work, you won't miss a moment. Download our free mobile app now. This is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Thanks for Mike for answering a phone call there out there at Hidden Hills. And yeah, there'll probably just be a little break in the play right now. If the weather the way it is, but it looks like the rest of it's going to be up north.
Yeah, it'll be just fine here in an hour.
So there's going to, and speaking of weather, whatnot, at the TBK complex, which is just south of Hidden Hills, they're opening up. They have like the opening ceremonies for nationals for girls softball. I think there's like a 16U, 14, 12, 13, 11. I don't know. There's nationals all over the place though.
Yeah.
Like
this weekend?
Yeah, but the thing is like, I know teams from here that went down to like Nashville last week to play nationals.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just stay in your backyard? I mean, I get the experience for your kids, and you've never been to Nashville
maybe
or whatever
a little
else.
trip, but like, you're not enjoying Nashville if you're taking your kids and going to a softball tournament all weekend, are you?
No, not at all. I mean, when you think about
not the way I want to enjoy Nashville.
No way. You're traveling like on Tuesday. You have opening ceremonies on Wednesday. Hopefully the weather stays over, and you hope to play through Sunday. I mean, that's a lot of time off, to be honest with you. A lot of time that you have to take off and a lot of money spent. I just say, like, play in backyard.
Yeah.
TBK, it's not going to get rained out.
No.
So they'll have their opening ceremonies tonight. We'll probably go out. I'll take my daughter out there and just go watch some games.
It'll be an exciting weekend for them out there.
For the teams that are participating.
Yeah, all the businesses, too.
They're going to love it. And, I mean, who knows like what that's going to look like in less than 5 years out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's businesses going up all over there, but I mean, sooner or later there's going to be more hotels going up, and then you have that area that's adjacent that would be just north east of the 74 Middle Road that the city of Bettendorf has, and they talk all the time about if they're going to move the fitness center and Splash Landing and build like an aquatic center there.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what they want to do. I heard it was going to be more of like a water park even too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like an aquatic center.
We need that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you,
I'll take that real quick.
Speaking of financing, if anyone wants to finance, what we should do is we should quit this gig and open up a Smash Park like they have in Des Moines.
Smash Park is my favorite bar in
Isn't
Des
it
Moines.
great?
It is so fun. The entire place is great. You can almost a beat out there.
The best part about that is, and we'll get to sports in a second, but Smash Park, you start one tab, and you can go to the bar or get a server. You can go outside.
Anywhere, any server.
And it's the same tab. You don't have to like open, close with anyone. I just think it's amazing how they do it.
They're carrying around this little thing, and
why haven't we figured that out here?
How is that not
I want to play pickleball, I guess.
Absolutely.
Maybe. But yeah, just be outside, throw some bags. I mean, we do that now at all these places, but just a place that the kids like. I mean,
it has it all.
No one's had a bad
Great
problem going to Smash. Yes, and it is good bar food too.
Yeah.
So build something like that around here. But and that's what I assume it's going to look like in about 5 years. That area, you'll have something like a Smash Park out there, and then I'll be shocked as all heck when they end up like building a new movie theater out there, and we'll have that one that's there now. By the way, have you seen Black Widow yet?
I have not.
Yeah, me neither.
I have not watched it yet.
I have not watched it. So, and then
I think I'm gonna try to go to the Bluegrass Drive-In and watch that one.
Is it there? Is it at that?
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. Real quick, one more thing before we get into the sports. Have you watched Ted Lasso?
I have watched Ted Lasso.
Thank you. Really? You're like one of the few.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I've watched it twice, and I still am going to watch it again.
Season 2's coming out.
It is.
Yeah.
They just got nominated for 20 Emmy nominations.
Really?
Yes. It's the most nominated freshman comedy series in TV history.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was so good. So, yeah, if you guys don't have Apple TV, do yourselves a favor and hit someone else that has that will give you their password or whatnot, because it's real. I mean, from the first episode on, it's just really, really good. The whole thing is. So I'm really excited. And basically, the people that write for Axios Sports, this guy Kendall Baker, he got early access to season 2, and he says it's just as good as the first. And first was great.
The entire season was great.
Yeah.
I can't wait for season 2.
You get that scene when he's at the dartboard and he says the Walt Whitman quote, and he's like, just be curious, not judgmental. Ask questions. Like, don't be judgmental. Ask questions. And I think we've said that a lot of times. And I know you've been in studio here too when we've talked about this situation where a lot of times when you are curious, people think you're questioning their beliefs or whatever else, and they come foul right at you. And you're like, no. I generally do care, and I want to know why you feel that way, because I think your opinion is important to me. So, but there's a lot of times when you ask questions like, well, why do you think that way? What do you mean? Why? How can you not? You're like, oh, whoa, calm down.
Hey, don't get defensive on me.
Yeah. So, and I've got this idea in my head. If there's 10 episodes, I think there is, he's got like 3 great quotes in every single one of them. It's like when he's like first episode when he's talking and they're flying over to become the coach, and he's talking to the guy who created the show is the assistant coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that
guy did it. Yeah, and they're like, oh, what are we getting into? Blah blah blah. And he's like, well, it's like, let's like learning how to ride a horse. It's going to be a little bumpy at first, but eventually we're going to figure it out. And she's like, it's about almost in everything. Like, he's just great. The show was great. It's awesome, and so I'm happy that there's going to be a season 2, and I'm going to power through and watch season 1 again, because I'm glad you watched it, because you're one of the few.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of people that watched it. My buddy Hacksaw got me on board. He said he watched the first episode, and we just caught on from there and didn't stop. I think did it all come out at once, or did we have to wait? No, yeah, we had to wait.
It comes out, and that's the other thing I like about it, because I've always said I like appointment television. We haven't had that since Game of Thrones, really. And people stopped, and majority of people that I talked to that watched Shameless, they only watched it when it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
They didn't watch it. I watched it every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
And then now they've got this show on Apple Plus. It's called Physical, and it's got Rose Byrne in it. She's fantastic, and that comes out like every Friday.
Really?
Yeah, and it's based in the early '80s, and it's the jazzercise trend. How she turns it to it's a little dark,
yeah,
but I like it, and I like that it's something to look forward to.
I'll have to take
watch.
a peek at it.
Yeah, watch the first episode, and you'll be like, all right. And yeah, but I tell everyone it's something like that. Give it 2 episodes. Lasso, everyone will love in the first
right
one.
Away.
And it's only like 30 minutes too.
Oh yeah, it's quick.
Yeah, and he is just Jason Sudeikis is just fantastic in it.
So did T-Roy take today off to watch Loki season finale of Loki today?
He'll watch that. Yeah,
he will be doing that all day.
So that's the season that's going on.
Yep,
I still haven't watched since episode 1.
Oh, it's great. The entire season's just great.
They
really did a great job with these series.
I'm gonna have to like catch up on that one.
But now
as well.
binge it. Now you can binge it all at once. Yeah, a couple hours out of your day.
Yeah. All right. Tonight, you say you like Phoenix tonight.
I think the Suns get back on track here on the road. I know that I think the fouls get a little bit more even. Like when you say something, you don't think it's gonna you don't think it's gonna change anything, but it always does. You're gonna see the Suns getting a lot more calls tonight.
I'm with you on this.
It's gonna be even.
Yeah, there's a memo.
That's usually how it goes.
So what do we say that Giannis had 17 free throws attempted, and Phoenix only attempted 16? Yeah. There's a memo going out.
It's gonna be a lot more even.
Yeah, there's a memo from Silver that's like, hey, this is not a good look.
Mm-hmm.
Something's not right here. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I actually like.
Do the same referees get a ref again? Is this do they do the whole finals or anything like that?
You would think so, but I don't know.
You would think so that they travel with everything.
Yeah, I really don't know though. You would, because you don't want new referees in, especially at this day and age right now.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. So yeah, that would be.
I just think the shooting is going to be hot tonight. I think they were a little cold the other night. Devin Booker, Chris Paul shooting some threes. Mikal Bridges, I think he's going to be a big factor tonight. DeAndre Ayton, another big factor. He's going to have to get on the boards against Lopez and Giannis. I just think it's going to be too much Suns tonight.
And the other thing is, how much Giannis looks he's been playing better since the injury. I mean, how long can that happen?
I mean, it's just one tweak away, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be going to go. It's going to go soon.
I'm with you. I think I'm going to go with the Phoenix on this. All right.
So that means bet the Bucks.
Yeah, that means 100%
We
bet
have
the
not
Bucks.
been hot.
Yeah. So, all right, let's take a look at Major League Baseball here. And
halfway through the season,
yeah, we talked about this on Monday, and the Cubs are coming right out with the Diamondbacks, and then the Cardinals, right?
Yep, the Cardinals right away.
They're both road trips.
It's going to be a tough road trip, but, it's not a bad place to start in Arizona. If you need some wins, that's your place you go. You go to Arizona to get some wins.
Okay. And Arizona is also really big for the snowbirds in the Midwest, so you're going to have not a lot of home cooking, but you're going to have a home feel a little bit. You're going to have
a lot of blue going on.
There'll be a lot of, Cubby blue in there. They're 8 out. They basically, according to Fangraphs, they have a 4.4% chance of just making the playoffs.
Oh, that's tough.
Yes. As opposed to like the Yankees, they're 8 out, and Fangraphs still gives them a 40% chance.
How is that even a thing?
The Indians are 8 back. They only have a 6.9%. I'm just looking at teams that are close. The Angels are 9 back. They have a 14.7% chance, according to Fangraphs, of making it. And the Padres are 6 back of the Giants. They have a 90.8% chance. So they're looking at the schedule the same way we are. And the Cardinals are 8 back, and they only give them a 2.5% chance of making the playoffs.
Well, that's accurate. I can agree with that.
And you know why that is, though. They're saying whoever comes out of the East winning that, they're going to the playoffs, obviously. Whoever wins the Central. But the wild cards are coming out of the West, no matter what.
Oh, the wild cards.
So they're saying all three.
Yep.
Yeah, the Giants, Dodgers, and Padres. That's why they're so high up there. As opposed to, that's why the Yankees are up there, is they're thinking the wild cards coming out. 2 wild cards are coming out of the AL East. White Sox win the division, and the Astros and the A's. That's why the A's have a 48.7% chance of making it. The Astros, 96.2. They're 3.5 ahead of the Athletics.
So who do we like here for all of our division winners?
Okay. If I'm the Braves, I'm a little worried after losing Acuna.
I think the Braves are not making the playoffs at all.
I don't think they are either.
I think that they had a setback in some of their pitching. Marcell Ozuna as well. He did not have the kind of year that he had last year. Losing Acuna, I think you need to get ready for next year.
The Mets have to be. I still like the Mets to win it, but I like them more if they are truly aggressive buyers at trade deadline. Meaning, I think they need to go out and get Chris Bryant.
Is Chris Bryant all you need?
Well, I think, let's see, Donaldson from the Twins. They've been flirting with that, but they are one Jacob DeGrom injury away from just crash and burn, Mav. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, that Taheem Walker is not going to keep pitching the way he has all year. Yes, he's done fantastic. Just history shows that it's not going to happen.
History has shown that. I mean, I think his contract is. He signed a minor league contract like 2 years ago, and then he had to work his way back up into the majors. So, in the East though, I still like the Mets, but I'm not 100% sold on them. The Phillies still intrigue me, and I think it's more just because I have a crush on Bryce Harper.
They've been playing well too. They've been playing. Their pitching kind of came around in the last few weeks. I feel like. They do have a lot of talent on that roster. I don't see any reason why the Phillies couldn't catch them.
Yeah, and I think the Braves are trouble. Nationals are only 6 games back, but they just seem like. And the Marlins. Well, here's a crazy stat about the Marlins, though.
The run differential.
There you go.
It is amazing.
Plus 17. It's better than the Mets.
Yeah.
Mets are plus 9. So when they're winning big. When they're losing by 1 run here and there. But they're 9 games back. I don't think the Marlins are going to do much
and
there.
11 games under 500. That's just too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to catch up from.
So, is it me? Like, am I just being ignorant to the Cincinnati Reds and not learning anything about them? Because they're only 4 games back of the Brewers in the National League Central.
The Reds got a good offense. It's that rotation and that pitching staff. There's just not a lot there. Yeah. What's his name? Who was their ace?
I don't know.
It started terribly.
That's the problem. I don't know. And then here's the other thing.
Luis Castillo.
There you go. How did the Pirates have 2 starters on the National League All-Star team?
I did not understand that at all. I knew that
Do they have a great
Frazier is batting over 300.
Yeah, and Brian Reynolds.
And Reynolds. Was Reynolds a fill-in or something?
Brian Reynolds is batting 303. Frazier's batting 330. And did they just, like, are their fans that good that they just stuffed the box?
I guess.
So they're 18 back. I'm not worried about them. The Cubs are going to have to come out of this gate real strong.
Yeah,
here.
you're going to have to eliminate the Cardinals' contention. You're going to have to.
So that series between the Cubs and Cardinals is that's it. Either one of those.
Either one of those, you're gone.
Unless splitting's not going to do you any good. You got to win 3 out of 4 out of those.
You lose 2 to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it's going to blow up.
The Brewers need Christian Yelich he hasn't done anything. He only has 5 home runs in the first half.
What is wrong with him?
So if you're a Brewers fan, you have to feel good about that.
Is he just not healthy?
I think didn't he tweak his back in like preseason anyway at spring training?
He's just playing through it, just not doing that greatest.
I hate back injuries. Like that's the one thing when it comes like fantasy, I won't even do anything at all. Like
I just don't get it. 2 years ago, this guy is running away with the MVP.
Yeah,
he is. And I mean, I guess we've seen the same thing out of Chris Bryant. You know, Chris Bryant that year. Some people will say he didn't deserve to win the MVP that year, but he still did, and he's been on a decline ever since. Things have happened to him too. He's been hit in the head. He's got a couple injuries. I know that Yelich's back was hurt, but I didn't think it was that bad to where you're only hitting 5 home runs in the first half of the season.
Yeah, I still think the Brewers are fine. Now the National League West, boy, oh boy.
The Dodgers got to win that eventually, right? We got to see like a 6-game slide from the Giants here soon, right?
They have the best record in baseball right now, 57-32.
You talk about that team. How can you?
Well, they're like
you're like the Reds. You said like who are these guys?
The same thing with the Red Sox. JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, but you're still kind of like, wait, didn't they trade everyone away for like Mookie Betts or what? Didn't they trade these people away? And their Red Sox are coming through.
That Vertigo, he's a stud.
Verdugo, yeah.
You got JD Martinez as well on that team.
So yeah, the National League West. Hey, any one of you 3, I got my eye on you to win that division. I'm not going to be shocked anywhere. Maybe if with this whole Trevor Bauer thing, maybe it does have a little erosion to the team chemistry. You lost somebody that way, but I mean they've had guys hurt too. They've had.
I think the Dodgers end up winning that division.
They should win it. The thing is, what's going to be the thing that keeps them from winning? It's their manager Dave Roberts. I'm not a big fan of his.
Really?
Yeah. And the Padres are one Tatis shoulder injury away from not making it, and he's injured his shoulder 3 times in the first half of 2021. Good for the Giants for whatever they're doing out there.
Is this a first-year coach over there too?
Where?
In San Francisco.
Gabe Kapler, I believe, is his first or second year.
First or second year.
Yeah.
He's done a fantastic job. Whatever he's doing over there, he keep doing it.
The guy's got a huge head. He really does. Talk about HGH.
Big dome.
Yeah. I think the Central's a lock in the AL. The White Sox have this.
They're running away with it.
Yeah, Indians are 8 back.
They're starting to get healthier.
Yeah. Then American League West with the Astros, they've got a 3.5 game lead over the Athletics. Speaking of Athletics, I can't name a single player on their team outside of Matt Olson, and even who starts for them. But I feel like if you would have taken me to 2001, 20 years ago, I would say the same thing about the Athletics. I know one player on their team. That's about it. Or to even 2011, I know one player on their team. Yeah. That's it. They can make a movie out of you called Moneyball, and I'm still like, I don't remember any of the players.
Don't know any of you guys.
You guys are. I think Hattenberg was on there or whatever else. And
Matty H.
They give the Angels a 14.7% chance of making the playoffs.
Is that getting Mike Trout back?
Yeah, that would be it,
That's
right?
That's a lot, though. That division is tough. None of those teams are going away. They're not even in third in their division.
You need Anthony Rendon to come through. Ohtani, I mean, that's just a great story. Don't get me wrong, but one person's not going to do it.
It never does in baseball.
Yeah, Rangers are 19.5 games back. They
I remember the Rangers won 10 in a row earlier this year, and they were like, oh, the Rangers are finally doing something.
The Diamondbacks are 32.5 back. The Orioles are 26 back, and then the Rangers are 19.5 back. I don't know anyone on the Diamondbacks who they're going to be sellers, who's going to go where. The Joey Gallo's an interesting one. You would assume he plays center field. Does he look like a center fielder to you?
No.
He plays center field for them.
Yeah, it's so weird. They have him. They used to have him at first. Now they got him at center. I don't know what they're doing there. He doesn't play every day at center. I don't think so.
Tampa Bay doesn't need to be buyers because they've got this incredible farm system. And Wander Franco has not, even though they called him up, has not produced at all. I think he's batting around 180. The White Sox could use Joey Gallo. I did like this idea last night.
They just lost another catcher too, though. Grandal went down.
Okay, well, let's see who's got a catcher that's out there. A big time. Let's see. Well, the Mariners, I don't think they're going to sell yet. Mike Zunino just went yard last night in the All-Star game. They could go for him.
He hits the ball a mile.
Yeah.
All right, what were you going to say? Sorry.
No. I like this idea. My brother brought this up last night. The White Sox trading for Chris Bryant, and then Chris Bryant signing back with the Cubs in the offseason.
Well, that's fun.
It is fun.
Just heading over for half a year.
It would be, instead of like the crosstown rivalry type of thing, like, yeah, you're running a player or whatever else.
Hey, bud, here's some help. We'll get you back.
I would like to see that. That would make me happy.
They don't need a third baseman, though. I guess they need an outfielder. Maybe.
He's played almost. He
could play right for him, probably.
Yeah, he's played they showed it last night, how he's like 5 games away from like being eligible at 6 different positions or something like that, or 5 or something. I mean, he's played every outfield position, almost every third base. I'm sure he's probably played some first. I can't remember what the stats said, but he can play anywhere for him. They've done a good job promoting him. I wouldn't mind that at all. See him going over there and coming back if he wants to come back. I don't know. Listen. You guys, anyone can speculate all you want to about the relationship between Chris Bryant and the Cubs.
It's not good.
That's what I don't think it's
not good.
I think it's still back in that Rule 5 type of thing or whatever else, or the Super 2 or whatever coming up.
He hit 1 million home runs at spring training, and he should have been on the roster, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, there's nothing I can do to make this roster this year, right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's a business decision, 12 days. Why is that rule even there?
I don't know. To keep him another year under contract, a rookie contract.
So we stop making that mistake. You know?
Well, yeah, you create a bad relationship. Yeah. That's all.
It's forcing it almost.
Yeah. Let's see. Gallo, where he can go. Oh, I'm going to see the White Sox taking him too somewhere. The Brewers probably make some move, probably more with arms.
They went out and got somebody from.
And Braves are going to have to make some move too, though, to make up for Acuna.
And Marcell Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna's been down for a while too. Not that he was doing anything before that, but you got a couple guys.
It really does bother me quite a bit that the Yankees are 8 back, and so are the Blue Jays, and they have a better playoff odds are better than the Blue Jays. It's just because it's the logo, the New York Yankees, that they're giving him that. And I know it's Fangraphs. I'm sure they have like some algorithm, but it does like annoy me that everyone just thinks automatically they're going to turn the corner, and I don't really think they are. All right, we're gonna have to take a quick break here. ESPN, we'll take our last break of the show, but first, you've heard Luke on the air and have seen Dave on our show. Don't Hassle Us. We're Locals. Happy to have Martin Family and Cosmetic Dentistry as a new sponsor on the show. Martin Family and Cosmetic Dentistry's goal is to help everybody have a positive dental experience, and that starts with their youngest patients at their very first dental appointment. The office is kid-friendly and designed to be comfortable for all ages. There's a designated kids area, and the entire staff is very experienced and comfortable with children of all ages. For the adult hassle maniacs, Martin Family Dental will take care of all your dental needs. From your first cleaning to all restorative work, they have a relaxed environment to help you be as comfortable as possible at a place you like to visit. Check out their webpage at martinfamilydds.com and visit their before and after photos while whitening, and also read the testimonials from very satisfied patients. Plus, don't forget to like and follow their Facebook page as well. Call Martin Family Cosmetic Dentistry today at 563-355-6626 to set up your appointment. That's 563-355-6626. We'll be right back here. Don't Hassle Us Local on ESPN 1170 AM.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
When you're working from home, just tell Alexa to play us. It will be a much better conversation than you normally have with those coworkers. This is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Tomorrow's the deadline for players given the franchise tag to come to terms on a long-term extension, but according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, no such deal will take place between the Jets and Marcus May. Ian noting that the situation is, quote, not in a good place. May not the only player who will miss out on an extension. Rap Sheet also reporting Tuesday that Bears wide receiver Allen Robinson doesn't appear to be close on a long-term deal with the Bears and will instead play this season on the $17.88 million franchise tag. The Saints quarterback competition is one we'll be keeping an eye on when camps open up in 2 weeks. Defensive star Cam Jordan joined the Good Morning Football crew on Tuesday, but wasn't ready to tip the team's hand, telling the crew, quote, it's beyond my pay grade. And I like to say not many things are beyond my pay grade, but that is. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
When you're ready to buy something, the first thing you do is go online. But buying a home is different. You've got loan applications, pre-approvals, competing offers, the list goes on. That's where a Realtor comes in. Realtors have expertise and local knowledge to give you a competitive edge that a search bar just can't. And in today's market, an edge is what you need. So when you're ready to buy a home, the first thing to do is make sure you have an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
How can I make sure my office never stops working?
With Staples Connect, it's possible.
I need to keep my back office stocked without messing up my bottom line.
Also possible because Staples Connect has your small business covered with big savings on everything you need to get work done. This week, earn 30% back and a Staples store bonus when you buy any 2 ink cartridges, including HP. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Limit 4, in-store only. Visit staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details and 724.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
Does Aaron Rodgers get moved before the season starts?
The 2 teams in the AFC for me would be the Raiders. And I know they got Carr, but you send Carr back to Green Bay. I know John Gruden he's probably sitting there just trying to figure out how to get that done because he's never satisfied with the quarterback spot.
Never.
Think about it. He tried to get Brett Favre when Brett was 60. So, I mean.
But if you think about it, though, as far as location goes for Aaron Rodgers,
he was Vegas.
Vegas would be, Vegas would be optimal. Obviously, Bay Area, where he's from, like that would have really been.
That's why he was
better
really
for
pushing.
him. Yeah.
He was really pushing for that San Francisco opportunity because they had a winning team. And the Raiders, maybe he is a guy who can kick them over the top. But those are the 2 teams in the AFC that make sense.
Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
The Max Kellerman Show. Did Floyd carry him? He didn't press for the knockout. But let me say something about Logan Paul and his brother Jake. They love boxing. They have a passion for it. There's other ways for these guys to make money. They choose boxing, which is a tough road. But so you have to really love it, which they do. They respect the sport. They never disrespect it by training as hard as they can, absorbing as much as they can, learning it, fighting as hard as they can and as well as they can, and then moving on to the next. And by the way, doing a great job promoting the sport and having people put their eyeballs on it. I don't know. I'm not mad at the Paul brothers for that. I'm not going to be mad at Floyd for making $50 to $100 million for an exhibition. Now, that's what it was, an exhibition. It was an exhibition. Floyd was exhibiting his boxing skills against a novice boxer who's much bigger than him.
The Max Kellerman Show. Weekdays at 2 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, welcome back. Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. I have no idea why that's playing right now. Like, I honestly, like,
let's jam.
Lost all control. Yeah, the Dawn. Yeah, but anyway, welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. All right, I talked a little bit about this yesterday, and we'll finish the show. Did you see that on Monday, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff passed away?
I did not.
Yeah. He
Really?
did, yeah. So now there's no more, there's no longer a living member of the Heenan family anymore.
That is.
I know.
That is different.
Andre's out. King Kong Bundy's out.
Yeah.
Bobby the Brain Heenan's out. Rick Rude's out. Mr. Perfect and Mr. Wonderful.
Wow.
And Big John Studd, too. That is a great faction.
Yeah.
And did we talk a little bit about this? I don't know if we did the other way. Did you see that the WWE finally did their list of like the top tag teams?
Yeah, they finished it. New Day won. Yeah. I get it. That's what they're doing right now. I mean, they've won many tag team championships together. Like throughout these last few years, this faction was not supposed to last this long.
Well,
they got the kids back into it. They got their own cereal.
Yeah.
It's all about that too.
And usually creative would ruin something like this. Usually they'd split them up.
They've split them up and they've tried to make angles with them.
Solo, like there was supposed to be a big run. This was supposed to be Big E's year to make a run.
Yep. And then they took the Intercontinental Championship off of him.
Yeah.
What was that? Is he winning Money in the Bank?
I think they're great. I think everything they've done is good. Everything they touch, no matter what they do, it turns to gold. Being number one tag team is a bit of a stretch.
Who was two?
That's
The
a
Hardy
great
Boys?
question. Oh, jeez, don't get me. Come on. Like, I'm done with this list already. If we're really gonna, if that's your list, and they are at, and you're gonna give the New Day it, then number two, it should be the Freebirds, because that's basically what they are. It's a Freebird rule. Any two out of the three can defend the titles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they ever did that before, but
Who do you like in Money in the Bank this weekend?
Is that this weekend?
That's this weekend.
I do not know what the storyline they're going with right now.
Yeah,
I honestly, sorry WWE, I haven't been watching. The Hardy Boys were 2, the Hart Foundation 3, Edge and Christian 4, the Dudley Boys 5, the Legion of Doom 6. Get out of here. Road Warriors.
Hey.
I mean, how are they not in the top 3?
I thought the Dudley Boys should have been 2. I love the Dudleys.
Yeah, they're all right.
All right.
Yeah, go get the tables or whatever
Get
else.
the tables.
Yeah. So the Usos at 7. The Usos have a lot of titles.
A lot of titles.
The New Age Outlaws at 8.
They were just a fan favorite.
The Brothers of Destruction at 9. Name me one match that you remember of the Brothers of Destruction outside of who they are. There's not one thing on there
that really sets anything apart. That awful one they did in Saudi against Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
There you go.
Terrible.
Yeah. The British Bulldogs at 10. Now, they were legit. Demolition 11, definitely. The Valiant Brothers, fine. Mega Powers at 13. Above the Rockers, not true. The Mega Powers lasted maybe one pay-per-view. Hogan and Macho Man. That's when you have Macho Man be like, you got jealous eyes, Hogan. And then they broke up. The Wild Samoans should have been up there. The Rock and Sock Connection at 16, fine, I guess. The Steiner Brothers should be higher. DX, no. The Shield, again, that's a triple. The Blackjacks, no. The APA should have been higher. Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik should have been higher. And if they do not have, why am I not seeing the? I don't know. There's a lot more better teams out there. Yeah, I don't know. I was okay with it, but I mean, the New Day, it's just, you're putting over, let's see. The New Day, Hardy Boys, Hart Foundation, Edge and Christian. Dudley Boys came in. They were ECW too, though.
Yeah.
Legion of Doom, that's just a shot at, because they were on AWA and NWA before they went to the WWE. It wasn't created by Vince McMahon, so he's not going to put him in the top 5.
He's not going to do it.
So, but anyway, yeah, the Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, like I was talking about some of because he had a good heel turn and he was very instrumental in WrestleMania 1. So, but and they never really came out, like when his son made the post on Monday, they haven't really said like what he passed away from. So, but back to your question though, I really don't know the storyline where they're going in Money in the Bank, and I don't know who the next up and comer is.
Yeah. There's a lot of random people in it that I don't think that are going to win it at all. Like,
it's going to be Matt Riddle, isn't it?
Yeah,
don't they in love with him right now?
Yeah, they love him, but I thought they were going with the storyline with Randy Orton and him being tag team partners, and I thought they were going to do that first, and now Randy Orton's off TV.
What did he do?
He's just off TV.
Okay.
I think he's just something in his contract. He's trying to get healthy for when they go back to fans. Fans this Friday.
What?
Live show, right?
I believe so.
This Friday, first live show for WWE.
Yeah,
they're traveling again.
So let's see here.
Can't wait for them to hit the iWireless.
That would be fun. I have no idea the women's Money in the Bank where they're going with this. I heard Bailey just got injured.
Yeah, out 9 months.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. Freak accident.
Let's see here. Who's in here?
Mandy Rose, Asuka.
I'm just talking about the dudes.
Oh, the dudes.
Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Sheamus, Cesaro, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn are not in the contest.
None of them are in there.
But Ricochet is in it.
Ricochet's
John
in.
Morrison.
John Morrison.
And
That's
Nakamura.
So they can jump off ladders and crush each other.
Yeah.
Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins.
Okay.
And is that it?
Yeah.
Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think they'll just keep doing the Sami Zayn thing with Kevin Owens. I think they can sell that over and over again. Yeah, I don't know who's going to...
And they got Drew McIntyre about to be working on a storyline with Jinder Mahal. I don't think he's winning. Seth Rollins.
They brought back Jinder Mahal? Where has he been forever?
Hurt.
Oh, boy. Hurt? You can't be hurt for 3 years.
I think that he's been healthy, but they haven't found a right storyline to bring him in, and now they have. They want him to feud against McIntyre, his old partner.
3-man band?
Yeah.
That's interesting, I guess.
I guess Seth Rollins is supposed to interfere in the Roman Reigns Edge match to create a Edge and Rollins matchup for SummerSlam.
That'd be good.
That's what the storyline is, because Edge came back, and I guess Rollins think he hopped him.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what they're saying.
That's a good storyline.
Yep.
Be like, you jump in your place in line just because you think because he is a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good storyline. I'm okay with that. And the Roman Reigns thing, I don't think they have anyone that can.
And it's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the storyline's great. Now he's got Heyman with him, and he gets his head of the table type of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't. To be honest with you, if they ever have this thing where the Usos turn on him, I don't buy the thing of any one of them holding a candle to him right now. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but yeah, we'll figure that out. But I didn't even realize that was a Sunday. That's how fast this time goes. And the last thing was what was the last one? Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it makes sense. It's getting to be, and then SummerSlam will be in August, right?
Yep.
So it's going to be a build-up of a 6-week build-up probably, because it will be the last weekend in August.
They're supposed to say the SummerSlam is going to be bigger than WrestleMania this year.
Is
what they're trying to?
Is it in Las Vegas?
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be huge. Oh, great.
Just returning too.
All right. Well, thank Emily for being on the show today, and Mike as well. And then Adrian, thanks for being here. You'll be here tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're here all week. Great. Stay dry out there, Quad Cities, and we will talk to you guys soon. And we'll have Game 4 to talk about tomorrow, and I'm sure a bunch of other random craziness that we always bring to the show. You guys take care of each other. Stay safe, Quad Cities, and stay dry. We will see you tomorrow.